Okay, I think I'm streaming. Let's do the audio check because that's saved us. Oh, I can hear myself. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. Okay, I'm gonna stop reverberating my audio. Let's send this. And then, okay, let's see here. Let's do this. SRS on. Oh, hey, hey Chan, welcome in. How's it going? Barney of the Rubble, welcome in. How's it going? Yay, guitar time, says Barney. Sorry. Hi, Nam. Hi, Chan. How's it going? Welcome in, Barney. How are you guys doing today? Charlie's Beats, welcome in. How's it going? The Gibson sus eyes to eyes. How is everybody doing? Hopefully everybody had a wonderful Independence Day weekend, or as we sometimes call it here in the United States, July 4th. Gibson Lens, welcome in. How's it going? I'm currently applying cheating gloves. So, what have I been up to? Well, I did try and take some time to relax. I did share a selfie of myself by the pool. I guess I should have gotten a picture of the pool now in retrospect. I didn't. But Chan asks, "Did you celebrate?" Yeah. So I swam in my pool a lot. Chan the Magic Man, thank you so much for the resub for 21 months. Thank you so much, Chan. I mean, I don't know what's more independent than being unemployed, right? That's like one of the most independent things. I did take my daughter to go see fireworks. This year was the first year. E-Room, welcome in. How's it going? We were just talking about our July 4th or Independence Day weekend, so if anybody wants to share what they did, feel free to let us know. Anybody watched fireworks? I like fireworks. I don't get a chance to watch them enough, but thanks for the shout out to E-Room, guys. You're not following our friend E-Room. E-Room is known as the Pope of Indiana. Definitely give our friend E-Room a follow. E-Room does variety streams. We'll oftentimes do a bunch of different things, such as in real life streams, community gaming streams. E-Room's really good at words words with friends, by the way. So, and also E-Room will open up Kinder eggs on stream, trying to collect all of the collections. Chan, thanks for this. Chan, thanks for the shout out to Gibson Lens, guys. We're following our friend and mod Gibson Lens. Please give Gibson Lens a follow. Pianist, has composed a bunch of his own originals. Released his first album a few months ago. Wait, March, April, May, June, July. It's like 4 months ago now. Can I still use few months? Is that accurate anymore? But definitely check it out. And yeah, you can listen to all of the album at that link tree right there. Can't compete with E-Room and Charlie. Oh yeah, words on stream. Sorry, what did I say? I said words with friends, right? That was the most delayed bang in history. Lol. I will allow few. Gibson. That's. Uh, and then speaking of which, if we haven't, guys, if you're not following our friend and mod Chan the Magic Man, please give Chan the Magic Man a follow. Chan, one of the few magicians on Twitch that has a regular magic schedule. Definitely give Chan a follow and catch him on Mondays for Magic Mondays. If you see him any other time, he's doing retro games, playing Grand Theft Auto, community games, things like that. Words on stream. Let's see. And guys, we're not following our friend Charlie's Beats. Please give Charlie's Beats a follow. So Gibson Lens maintains that I am not giving up hope that Charlie's Beats will one day stream again. So that's That's the hope. And of course, Chan the Magic Man, thank you so much for the resub. Chan the Magic Man, the signer of the Queen of Clubs. There we go. Durkee Blaine, welcome in. How's it going, Durkee Blaine? Guys, you're not following our friend Durkee Blaine. Durkee Blaine, also a streamer, Durkee Blaine streams variety video games, and Durkee Blaine has also been known to perform some magic as well. So feel free to give our friend Durkee Blaine a follow. All right. Well, great seeing everybody here today. OB just trying to figure out some game mods. Awesome. Also, speaking of the world of video games, if anybody is into video games, if you didn't know, Summer Games Done Quick has started today, SGDQ. And if you did not know, Games Done Quick is running right now all week, starting today, goes until next weekend, and the schedule is up for Summer Games Done Quick. So. But anyway, I will certainly be tuning into Summer Games Done Quick at some point. I was able to just lurk in there earlier, but I didn't really get a chance to watch. Yeah, and so let me see here. I know that I did not get a chance to learn a new trick. I've actually been a little bit busy between the Independence Day holiday and then coming up with new content for my YouTube channel. I recorded my first tutorial, but I don't know if I want it to publish first or I want to do a couple other ones before that and then have those published. But those will be going up, and those will probably be behind my YouTube's. There's this thing on YouTube called channel memberships. I think it's kind of like Twitch subscriptions. I don't know about whether it can prevent ads or not, but it definitely allows for supporting the creator on YouTube. So Chan says, same here, not much practicing. Yeah, been busy currently editing new music video. Chan, awesome. Yeah, I was actually doing some video editing for the first time in a few months, really, because I edited a little bit of my tutorial videos, but it's not heavy editing. It's literally just like cutting, basically. So I took my kid to see fireworks, and she watched her first fireworks show, like her entire fireworks show. She had seen a little bit of fireworks earlier in the week, but then we sat on July 4th in a parking lot and was able to view the entire show, and she loved it. So, Kit Kat Gad, welcome in. How's it going? Aw, says Kit Kat Gad. Thanks. I bet that was cute. Absolutely. Well, so we were also getting eaten by mosquitoes. Hashtag the American experience of watching fireworks. So yes, cute, but absolutely. Needless to say, my legs were itchy like the rest of the evening and the next day. So don't forget the bug spray. So I was wearing shorts and it had been hot all day, so the bugs were actually laying off. And then I had failed to put some on. So it was my fault. It was my fault. Tropical depression here, so tornado warnings, flash flood all day today. Kit Kat Gad, stay safe. I actually heard about the unfortunate events of Texas and that there were flash floods and there were, I forget, over a dozen people unaccounted for in the flash floods. So be careful wherever you are. Yep, my friend lives out there, says Kit Kat Gad. Yeah, yeah. So, anyway, um, let's see. I'm not exactly sure what to warm up with, but we should warm up with something. So, Let's see. Kit Kat Gad says, "Thanks. I heard 2 trees fall down fairly nearby. Oof. Yeah, that's rough. When the big rainstorm hit here, so we had torrential rain near where I live, and it like broke records. So the record for so I live in the greater Rochester, New York area, but basically Rochester hadn't received this much rain since like 1900 and something. And like a few Wednesdays ago, it torrentially downpoured completely. Like normally when I feel and see torrential rain, it happens for a few minutes and then it lets up and then maybe it comes back down again. But it's not like constant. This particular day a few weeks ago, it rained hard for like hours. And I was like, "Holy crap, this is insane." And apparently we broke that 1900 something record in like an hour and 15 minutes. And then it continued to rain for 2 more hours, like solid, and then on and off for like the rest of the day. And areas here were like flooded like crazy. There were like some down power lines like a town over. Like a road was closed off for like 2 days just because they had to get the power lines back up. It was nuts. And there are some areas over here where like I never have seen flooded before were flooded for like a week and a half after, and I was like, "Wow, that's nuts, wild, wild." All right, I'm in the process of just adding a trick right now to not just the queue. I'm actually gonna add it to the list. Um, but I figured it's easy enough. I should always keep it fresh, and I should just add it. Okay, there we go. Boom. Kit Kat Gat says, "My first degree was environmental science with a climate focus." Oh, that's cool, Kit Kat Gad. I've been kind of like vaguely interested in the science of meteorology, but I've never actually delved into it. I understand that it's mostly like looking at data, analyzing data, trying to predict based on like models, and there's like a bunch of different like meteorological models. Um, and like honestly, a lot of them started to converge like a lot of regular like events that not regular events like on a timely manner, but like they'll see, oh, rain will happen. It just kind of divides on like whether it happens this day or that day or just slightly north or whatever. So Kit Kat Cat says, "Oh, I need to go check on the flashlights, lights flickering." Oh, yeah, definitely go check on flashlights, batteries, water, anything that you need to check. Definitely, totally understandable. Okay, all right. So let me get warmed up. I haven't gotten warmed up yet. And we're going to need one-eyed jacks, because this trick is called one-eyed jacks. Not that you couldn't do it with any other jacks, but the one-eyed jacks are the jack of spades, jack of hearts, and we are going to have them time travel. So let's go ahead and take any card, doesn't matter what it is, and place it in between them. So now there's exactly one card in between our 2 one-eyed jacks. And the important thing about this is that we're going to go ahead and cut them into the middle of the deck. We won't know where they are. But now we're going to need a card selected from the deck, and so we can just go ahead and I don't want to spread too much. Actually, if somebody was here, they could stick their finger as I riffle down the deck, and so like right here, let's say we pick that one. This is the one that we can look at. So it is the Red Star Joker. Red Star Joker. Okay. And you know that's unique. We've signed this on stream before. And so here's what we're going to do. We're going to cut this into the deck, but then the one-eyed jacks will go backward in time and have this particular card be the one that gets put in between them. And so here's one card in between the two jacks, the two one-eyed jacks. But if we just take a look, it will be our uniquely signed red star joker. And the only other joker that's here is the black star joker, just to show you that it's not like the same. So full disclosure, it might look like I'm doing something, and I somehow messed up my OBS Studios settings. And so I'm trying to like get them to go back, but I was struggling with that a little bit right before stream. And I'm like, I don't want to deal with this right now. So I'm kind of like flying a little bit discombobulated with the OBS screen right now. So I'll have to spend a little bit of time messing with it. Probably tomorrow, but all right. Thank you kindly for the claps. E-Room, Chan the Magic Man. Thanks for clearing that, Chan. And let's see here. Chan has requested the ambitious card routine. You know what? The most appropriate card that we should have selected for Chan is indeed the Chan signed Queen of Clubs. Let's go ahead and find the Queen of Clubs. Right here. Thank you for the request, Chan, and thank you for the resub. Greatly appreciate it. Okay, so you know what? Let's theme this trick a little bit differently. Let's have Chan the Magic Man trying to take over the world of magic. So here is the world of magic, i.e. the deck of cards. And Chan wants to be on the top of it. However, as we all do, we all start somewhere in the middle. Now, those of us who are non-magicians, probably closer to the bottom. Those of us who are magicians, somewhere in the middle. So we'll go ahead and put Chan somewhere in the middle. But, of course, Chan has recently exceeded 1,000 followers on Twitch. And you know what that means? One day he might be on top of the world of magic. I know, right? But you can't just rest on your laurels when you're at the very top. Sometimes you'll get knocked back down to the middle. However, if Chan is persistent enough, Chan can raise himself back up to the top of the world of magic. And of course, just when we think perhaps Chan is no longer on the top, Chan can bring himself back up to the top of the world of magic. Chan, are you taking notes? You're writing this down, right? I want you to be on the top of the world of magic. Now, some people believe that Chan the Magic Man will be doing some shenanigans because, you know, Chan the Magic Man is a magic man and thus does magic. But even when it appears as though he's trapped in the world of magic amongst hundreds, nay, thousands of other magicians, you might think that perhaps he's not already on the top. But he certainly isn't a layperson. No offense, E-Room. By the way, E-Room, if you ever start doing magic, you have to tell us. You realize this, right? You've got to let us know. so that A, we can help you out. But then B, we'll make sure that you're not at the bottom, that you're somewhere near the top. And if anything else, I'm sure Chan the Magic Man is willing to bring you up to the top with him. And that, my friends. Oh yeah. And by the way, of course, here he has brought you with him. There we go. And that, my friends, is ambitious card routine themed as Chan the Magic Man taking over the world of magic. And if E-Room decides to start magic too, we're gonna take him with us. Thank you kindly for the claps and the applause. Chan the Magic Man. Hopefully you enjoyed that. So, yeah, I've been trying to think about what I can do differently with my magic tricks because for my Magic Mondays when I publish my YouTube videos, so full disclosure, I don't have an idea for tomorrow yet. So I have to, after stream's over, I have to either learn a trick or come up with a new presentation for an existing trick I know, and then record it, and then upload it, and then it'll publish tomorrow. E-Room says, lol, I've done one magic show on stream in the past. It was comedy magic. Awesome. That's, you know what? Comedy magic is where it's at. If you don't make somebody laugh while performing magic, then you got to be spot on with your magic. But at least if you're funny and you mess up, that's okay. Like, you're still entertaining at the end of the day. Thank you for the hearts and the nice ones and the claps, E-Room. All right. If anybody's been sitting around for a while and you've not hydrated, please feel free to hydrate. I'm having black tea today. Oh yeah, I should probably do this as is customary now, and I should do it early while I have I have tactile fingers. All right, so here we go. We have Gibson eyes turning into Gibson sus eyes, and then we'll go from Gibson sus eyes to Gibson eyes. Man, I just thought those were pretty clean. That looked pretty good, I think, on camera. I hope. Yes, and Charlie's Beats loves these emotes. Okay, I was actually wondering if. Okay, so I was wondering if I could actually do the fish with this hand. So here we go. We're gonna do the fish with this hand as this, and then not quite as clean as I'd like. All right, let's try that again. Okay, here we go. All right, that one looked better, I think. Okay, we'll try from sus eyes. Sorry, from regular eyes to sus eyes. You saw nothing! It's alright, Chan. This is the one that I mess up all the time. Ay, ay, ay. Look at it this way. I would never perform this trick on live television being broadcast across the world to a TV host and then do the snap change to the host while exposing to the audience. I know this, Chan. Thank you kindly for the claps, Charlie. I tried. There's my attempt with the fish hand and that. So there we go. I was thinking about it. I was like, why didn't I do that with the other hand? Like, Kit Kat Cat, the host will keep your secrets. Yeah, all of America will not. Face the camera. Yeah, I don't want to call out whoever did it. However, I think it's a famous clip at this point, and it was, I think it was, what is his name? Jesse Eisenberg. Snap change. Yeah, Jesse Eisenberg did the snap change um, as part of like when he was on in the movie Now You See Me, and let's see. I can't find the clip right now, but I don't want to spend too long looking for it. Which, by the way, I have the movie and I have not seen it. I have not seen Now You See Me. I should probably watch it soon. Oh, actually, Gibson Lens, if you're here, have you seen the movie Now You See Me? Let me know. I have not. Okay. Well, maybe if I do a viewing, I should let you know. We should coordinate so that you can watch it too. that way, that way we can get another movie review. I just realized one of the most toughest things is if I'm watching the movie and then it's like I have to try not to grill Gibson Lens too hard about his opinion about the movie. If I still want to guess what he thought later. Okay, all right. Oh yeah, so the reason why I wanted to add One-Eyed Jacks to the trick list. So that's the first time I've added it to the trick list. I've done it on stream, I think, a couple times. It's pretty new, but it's actually really short and really easy. And I'm like, oh, this is a really easy one to add so that I can do out in the world. And I've done it once out in the world, and it worked out really well. I actually did the time traveling theme with it, and it impressed. I mean, so the people I was performing for, they're not strangers to magicians. They've seen magicians before, but they still seemed they were impressed with the trick. So I was like, I should keep this trick in the repertoire. So let's do that. But once again, the trick that I don't really get practice that much, which is why I do it on stream all the time, is the coin matrix. So let's practice that. And then actually, I'll follow it up. Okay, there we go. Beth kinda sorta. Evening, folks. Welcome in, Beth. How's it going? Chan the Magic Man says, I did Coin Matrix last week. Yo, Chan! That's big news. Coin Matrix is one of my favorite tricks, which is why I make an exception for it for a trick that I do that is not a card trick, basically. Beth kind of sorta. I'd like you to know I watched that newspaper clip a couple more times. Oh, okay, yeah. I know we talked last week about the torn and restored newspaper. That's right. So, what did you think, Beth? I would love to know your thoughts on that. So, while you're collecting your thoughts, I'll go ahead and perform this. All right. First things first, we have 4 coins. I'm going to place them. We go ahead and cover 4 cards, and we're going to make these coins jump from corner to corner like so. Going once, going twice, boom. This one goes from here to there, going once, going twice, boom. Last one, boom. There we go. Let's see. Beth says, let's see here. He rolled it into a ball after tearing and then put it new. This is not possible. Nay, smashed it into a ball after tearing. How? Yes. Oh, man. So there are some clever things that magicians can do. Welp ad. Oh, jail. Okay. Sorry, I am not good about managing ads yet. Actually, I don't know if I can see when my ads hit. Hang on. All right. In the interim, let me hop back down here. We'll do the other trick. And then we'll come back after ads, and we will once again talk about stuff. Okay, so here we go. And we're going to go ahead and make coins jump. Like so. So we now have 1, 2, 3, and 1 over there, and the last one. There we go. And then I've been trying to finish this trick with the with this finale. So we do this, and then we do this, and then we go 1, 2, and 3. There we go. That, my friends, is the cardless coin matrix. Okay, back. All right, welcome, Beth. Yeah, when I saw ad was going, I was like, oh, okay, I should probably stop talking about the thing that Beth and I were talking about, and then I just did that trick because at least you'd see in the window that. But okay, yeah, let's go back to talking about the torn and restored newspaper. Thanks for clearing that, Chan. Thank you kindly for the claps, E-Room. So, yep, definitely want to keep those fresh. All right. So last week I had alluded that torn and restored tricks are actually, they use two things. They use two newspapers, or in this, two cards if we were to do a card one. Actually, do I have any disposable cards? I could probably try and do one today, maybe. I'm feeling a little bit ambitious. No pun intended with the ambitious card trick, but perhaps we could try and do a torn and restore card. So, yeah. There are tricks, Beth, if you have ever seen things like making a ribbon or like a handkerchief disappear. So what the magician will do is take a handkerchief, stuff it into their palm, and then they make the handkerchief disappear. That is something that could be used in the terms of the torn and restored. Beth kind of sort of says, there's no way he could store that anywhere. That is the illusion, right? You don't think he can store it anywhere. He probably does have it somewhere. Thanks for the lurk, Gibson Lens. Okay, all right, hold on. So I know I have. Okay, oh yeah, okay. I have a box over here. It's literally just labeled trash cards. Let's see if I can attempt to do a torn and restored today. All right, let's see. So I do have a bunch of trash cards here, and then let's. Okay. Here's some wonderful trash cards. Let's see. Beth says, I mean, I know I believe you, but I don't see how possible. Yep, that's that's the thing. And then what happens to the torn up ball? Yep, that's also the question. I don't want to expose any secrets, but basically at the end of the day, you have a newspaper that is legitimately torn, and then you have the newspaper is no longer torn. You don't have to tell me, actually, I'm just in disbelief. I'm glad that you are in disbelief. Okay, alright. So I've got some really trashy cards here. Some of these are from like rain damage. So let's do an off menu trick and see if I can do it. full disclosure, there's a chance I can mess this up. So, all right, so we have a card here, the 10 of clubs. So the 10 of clubs is here. I've only done this like a couple of times, and so if this does not work, well, it's on me that I decided to do it on stream. So first things first, we've got to fold it to make it at least easier for me to like rip, right? And then let's see here. Okay, so now we've got a card, and we need to start ripping it, okay? So here we go. Actually, I forget if I have to rip this side first or this side, but it probably doesn't matter too much. So let's go ahead and rip this here. Oh man, ripping this is not that easy. Okay. All right, so we've got that. And now I'm going to go ahead and rip it this way. So we will now have precisely 4 pieces of the clubs, right? So 4 pieces like this. But all we need to do is if we go ahead and place them together, we can actually okay, let's go ahead and connect those. Okay. All right, excellent. Let's see, and then we need to connect like this one, right? Okay. And then we need to connect the last one. All right, and we have one completely restored card right here, our 10 of clubs. Oof, okay. All right, thanks, Jan. Well, as I said, I need to practice that. Not the best, but eh. Okay, who wants to see me do that again? Okay. I have more cards. I kind of want to try that again. Anybody okay with me trying that again? Okay. All right. Good job, though. Okay. It was a little too... Okay, it was a little oof. All right, a little oof. All right. Sounds good. Okay, trying again. Here we go. All right, we have 8 of spades. I actually forgot the technique, but the other guy I couldn't see. Yeah. Yeah, I don't practice this. Anything. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I think I know what I did wrong this time. So, hold on. And actually, maybe this angle is not that good. Now I think about it. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Go ahead and rip. So you can actually see that I am tearing through the 8 of spades there. Okay. Here we go. Beth says, I think he may have been an actual wizard. I mean, that's what people believe sometimes magicians are. And really, we're just people that just remember how to do tricks. Okay. All right. And so, all right. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and finish ripping this. Okay. Can you guys see that? Is that on camera? Okay. All right. Okay. Here we go. Ugh. Hold on, I gotta get a better crease there. Okay. All right. So, all right. So now we have all 4 of these pieces. And what I want to do is we are going to go ahead and grab one of these pieces and we're going to connect it back to this. So here, I think right there. Actually, let me, how am I supposed to do this? Okay, all right. Okay, here we go. You know, I should also be looking up here to see what you guys see. I can't get any better if I don't do that, right? Okay. Oh no, does this one go... Does this one go this way? I think I attach it this way, right? Do I attach it this way? Okay. Yeah, this is not going well. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Okay. All right. Let's grab, which one is this? Does this one go here? Does this one go here? Okay. 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 Last one goes here. Okay. And let's go ahead and fix that. And once again, we have our torn and restored 8 of spades. Okay, I know I struggled a lot with that one, but I don't do this trick so normally. So, looked okay. Looked bad. Not as oof as the first one, or more oof than the first one. I would definitely say looks sus, probably, right? E-Room says nice one. Okay, so better than the first one. All right. You know, maybe I'll work on that. It's fine, not bad. Okay, not bad. All right, so maybe I'll practice it, and we'll see how good I can get. Thank you kindly for the claps. E-Room, Charlie's Beats, Chan the Magic Man. Thank you kindly. Perhaps a bit sus. Yeah, I could see that. I think just the fact that I fiddled with it probably for way too long. probably makes it a little sus. I gotcha. I gotcha. Definitely good feedback. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Anyway, I have a box of cards. I have way more I can try with. So I have a little box here, and it's labeled disposable cards and trash cards. And it's full. Now, do the newspaper? I don't. I don't have newspaper. I'm sorry. I have not had a newspaper available probably for like over a decade. Which is to say that I probably have never ordered my own newspaper. I only used the ones that were delivered to the dorms at college. So, all right, let's see here. I see the request that Charlie has requested. Thanks for the request, Charlie. Let me get ready for that one. um, let's see. Things along that same thread. There's going to be pun intended, Beth. If you like the torn and restored newspaper, if you've not seen the trick known as gypsy thread, I know that the word gypsy generally used isn't like PC anymore, but like that's the name of the trick, and that's what people still refer to it as. So, but that trick is basically a torn and restored thread, effectively. So if you're interested in that kind of effect, feel free to take a look at that as well. Uh, Romani Raffia says Kit Kat Gad. Who's Romani Raffia? I feel compelled to look this up. Are members of genus Raffia. Oh wait, that's oh, it's palm reading. It's okay, I won't cancel you, says Beth. Thank you, Beth. Thanks for not canceling me. Oh, Romani is the proper gypsy bane name. Okay, interesting. So here's another thing. So one of the most popular tricks is called the Chinese linking rings, and I don't think the word Chinese, but I mean sometimes it could. So it's like there aren't really names for like other names for magic tricks. It's kind of interesting. Raffia is a twine. Oh, okay. All right. Okay, hang on. I'm trying to recall something about this trick here. Uh, Hang on. I guess I can't chat and have and try and recall tricks at the same time. Okay, let's see. Boom, boom. Okay. So I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay. I got it. All right. Okay, so this trick is called Birds of a Feather. Okay, I found the 4 jacks. The 4 jacks will help us out here. And what we're going to do, actually, let me introduce you to all 4 jacks. And so we've got the jack of diamonds, the jack of spades, the jack of hearts, and the jack of clubs. Okay. If you were here, I could have you cut the deck, and I would want you to cut about 3/4 of the way down. And so you can cut, quote unquote, anywhere. If you're off by 1 or 2, it doesn't really matter. And then I would ask you to cut the deck about 2/3 of the way down over here. And then I would ask you to cut half of the remaining down here. And so we've just had a bunch of different cuts to different places. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark each position with one of these jacks, like so. And hopefully we're going to do something interesting with the jacks right here any second. So let's go ahead and slowly have each jack collect together. You know, when I'm doing this trick right now, if anybody's played that old Nintendo game, Where's Waldo, which is based on a book series, where when you open the book, you're trying to find Waldo. The NES game shows Waldo walking very slowly from level to level. And for some reason, I'm just thinking the jacks are just doing that right now. So look, the jack from here just walked from here to here. And now slowly the jack is walking from here to here, a la Waldo style from the NES game. And so here we go. He's walking, there he is. And I don't know if you can tell, but now all of the jacks have appeared down here. If you don't believe me, that's okay. I'll show you. Here are all 4 jacks. Now, I'm also not sure if you realized, but you cut, if you were here, you were the one who was doing the cuts. You could have cut to any of these positions, but what are the odds that you would have cut to cards that, well, first of all, I probably should have used the aces because I'd like to use the signed card of the person who requested. I know Charlie's Beats has signed the ace of spades. And so the places that we cut are indeed all of the aces. And there's the Charlie's Beats signed ace of spades. And that is birds of a feather. Had to jog my memory for a second, but I think that was okay. I think that was, I'll consider that a successful performance. Thanks for clearing that, Chan. Thank you kindly for the claps. Charlie's Beats, Chan the Magic Man, E-Room. Thank you, guys. Oh yeah, so I'm trying to come up with some ways to make some tricks educational. So I'm wondering if you were ever interested in seeing either a scientific concept or like a technological concept illustrated in a card trick. What are they? Because I'm going to be taking notes for basically ideas right now. I know some people in chat we've discussed and things related to like data security. That has been a popular idea in the past. So let me know if there's any specific things anybody has been thinking about. Yeah, says Kit Kat Gad. Yeah. I was actually thinking we could do. I had this idea for encryption the other day. Actually, hold on. I have some cards over here, and perhaps I can do encryption. Like right now, my idea for encryption right now. Let me see if I have the thing available before I commit to saying I can do it. Let me see here. Okay, I won't be able to use a full deck. Can you use most of the deck? hang on. I'm checking for things right now. Okay, all right. I'm not revealing the secret. You could do a 4-card pin code. Oh, we could do a pin code possibly. Let me see. I have an idea for something else. Let me see. Okay. Okay. Boom. Oh, hold on. This is going to matter a little bit. All right, guys. I'm coming up with a trick on the fly, so please excuse me as I try and come up with this thing that I'm coming up with in a ridiculous manner. Okay. 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 Boom. 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 Okay, hang on tight, guys. Almost there. Almost there. I think. Okay. All right, I'm gonna do a slightly more basic version before I get super complicated, because there's some more complicated things I want to do with this. But all right. First things first. Okay, let's start with this. I have a deck. This is not a regular deck. It may look like a regular deck from the back, but this is something called the letters deck, a bicycle letters deck. And so there are letters on this. And so if I show you, these are different letters. There's no indexes, it's literally just the letter. However, let's pretend I wanted to send a secret message to you. So if you are sending a message and it is over a secure channel, other people won't necessarily be able to read it. And it might appear like a jumbled mess. So like let's pretend I want to send you a message. And this isn't quite one-to-one, apples to apples. Like if I was to send you a message and it was 5 characters, you wouldn't necessarily have it be like 5 characters. It would be encrypted. It could be more than that. But let me just show you that the letters that we have here are X, B, C, and then H, and then we have R. Okay, so we have those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so those 5 are here. And now, when I want you to receive the message, you can unencrypt it at your end. And when you unencrypt it, you might end up seeing a card, not a card, you might end up being able to read it yourself because the unencrypted version, you could easily read it, right? And so here's the unencrypted version. And if you couldn't tell, it now reads piano. I think you can tell. But so right now, every single card, each character is a separate card, but that's not exactly how it works when it gets to your computer, right? Your computer arranges them all together, and this is called serialization. So they actually put everything together, and I don't know if you can tell, but look, the everything is serialized together in a single card. Now, if you were sending not just text, it wasn't just like the word piano, but like it's some kind of thing that represents a piano, you might be able to see the piano like image or something at the end, because now it's actually a piano. And these, of course, are all the letters except for piano, because there we go. And that, my friends, is, I would say, just a random impromptu card trick dealing with pianos, but theming it as encryption, serialization, and I guess, I don't know, object recognition? I don't know what to consider that, but anyway, so there we go. I like it for encryption. All right, I'll have to work on the encryption pattern, and then so the pattern is like the words that we use, like the story that we tell. So I'll work on that to smooth that out, and then perhaps I could just make this a version of that. But yeah, I think the idea is like I want it to be a bunch of random jumbled characters, because if anybody's ever looked at like encrypted stuff before, you can't read it. It's just like a bunch of jumbled characters, and so that's kind of like the idea. And then when you unencrypt it, it becomes the readable version. So in this case, it'll be the piano, and they're all like separate characters at the time. Um, and then when you put them all together, so when you're sending information over the wire, so what we say over the wire, it's like through the internet cables. um, it's usually serialized. So basically, we just send like one, in this case, bit at a time. Oftentimes, it's ones and zeros. But then when you get that series of ones and zeros at like your end, your computer like smashes them all together. We call that deserialization, because we take the serialized letters or serialized characters, and then we deserialize it, create the whatever it was, whether it was a number or a word or whatever. We call it a string, but um, and then if your app or your website knows what to do with it, it can display the right thing. So in this case, it could become piano. Actually, let me see how well this works. Okay, ready? Piano, piano. There you go. All right. Yeah, and so that is my attempt at that. Thank you kindly for the claps. Jen the Magic Man, E-Room, and Kit Kat Gad was excited. Yes! All right. But let's see. Yeah, I don't. So first of all, in order to guess somebody's PIN code, we're gonna have to need to know somebody's PIN code. But then also, I like the idea of like guessing other people's PIN codes. Now, I understand if you're trying to do it for if you're a scam baiter and you're trying to guess somebody else's PIN code because they're like a scammer, like I get that. But I probably would just be doing magic for innocent lay people, and so I wouldn't want to expose somebody's PIN code or passcode there. Chan, the Magic Man says, I bought my letters deck quite recently. Oh, awesome. So wait, Chan, do you have this exact letters deck? I think this comes in both red and blue backs, so it could be. Um, but yeah, thank you kindly for the claps. Chan, E-Room, Kit Kat Gad, thank you. Yeah, so there's some fun stuff in here. Let me see if there's some other stuff we could do something with really quick, because I haven't really shown these off on stream. Not completely. Uh, hmm. Oh, that's interesting. We could do something like this as well. Could it be a pin you choose from 4 cards, but it gets shuffled but comes back? Oh yeah. Kit Kat Gat, that would be way easier. Yes, absolutely, that could be done. Let me see here. hold on, I'm brainstorming another idea with the letter cards, but not related to the pin number thing. Hold on, let's see here. This deck does have some nifty, what should I say, how should I say, like, I don't want to say toys, but they're like some additional things that come with the deck. Man, spelling long words is not very easy here. Okay. Okay. Let's see. How do I do this? That's a great question. Let's see. I love idea generation, but have no attachment to their execution. Ah, okay. Excellent. All right. So, okay, let me just run this idea by chat. So I have a bunch of cards. I've spelled a word. I've spelled a long word. I've spelled sandwich. And what a normal sandwich is in Magic is when you take two cards and then you put something in between them. So let's pretend that I'm grabbing just these two random cards, like the OP. Sandwiches are OP, right? And what we can do is we will end up sandwiching a card in between the O and the P. And so let me just go ahead and, you know what? Let me stick this sandwich in between the O and the P. I just realized I did not think this part through. So please excuse me if so. We have sandwich in between OP. Oh, hold on, I should probably spread it this way so you guys can read it. I just realized. Hold on. I'm just gonna turn the deck this way. It'll make way more sense when I have the cards in the right place. So when you make a sandwich, there's each layer of the sandwich you put in. You know what? We should make the sandwich, all right? So here's our two pieces of bread, and here's our sandwich. We're gonna add. So what do people add? So this is the what do you put at the bottom? So this is your dressing, right? Whether you like mayo or oil, and then we can add a layer of, let's say, let's start with cheese. C for cheese, right? And then you're gonna put on. This is a thin layer of turkey, and then perhaps you're gonna add salami, and then let's see, what can we add on top? This could be tomatoes, lettuce, then what? Red pepper flakes, and then sure, bacon. I don't know if sorry if anybody's offended. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and put all of those pieces into our sandwich. Okay, so now we have all of those in our sandwich. So what are we gonna do with this? Let's go ahead and place our sandwich just somewhere, let's say in the middle of the deck, like this. Does that make sense, perhaps? No, I don't like that. Let's not do that. Okay, our sandwich is still here. We haven't done anything sus yet. Okay, you know what? Okay, let's go ahead and just place, let's place it here. Okay. So here you can still see our S for sandwich, right? And then we have all of the cards, and then we still see the back of our bread right there. Now, here's what we are going to do with our sandwich. We are going to do something super interesting, and you can see that the sandwich is still, so like sandwich is right here. There's a bunch of cards in between in the sandwich right there, okay? But you're like, hey, I want to see that this piece of bread and this other piece of bread, after you wrap it inside of the wrapping, it actually over time will compress the sandwich, right? And so the sandwich will one day get compressed. By one day, I mean it just sits there for like an hour. And then, of course, everything gets mashed together, right? And so I don't know if you can tell, but now the sandwich is compressed. There's actually a lot less sandwich now. And if you don't believe me that the sandwich is still in there, the sandwich is actually still in there. Because look, there's our sandwich. And you're probably wondering what happened to all of the ingredients. The ingredients are still there. See, sandwich. But actually, here's our OP sandwich. Right there. That's what it looks like. Okay. I don't think that worked out well. I need to come up with a better sandwich analogy. Oh, but if anybody wants to see, there you go. There you go. OP sandwich. Boom. Okay. Full disclosure, made that one up on the fly. I don't think it's that good. I had to have to work a little bit on that just to make it a little bit better, but first time you're ever seeing it here on stream. Maybe first time ever. Maybe somebody else who does the trick will never do it that way ever again. It's tough coming up with random stuff if I haven't not practiced it before. Okay, let's see. So that was the sandwich thing. Let's see what else. What else do we have here? Hmm. Yeah, I don't know what I could do with the rest of these. There's a bunch of things I could do, I think, but it's not entirely clear. Certainly, I wouldn't put these up on my YouTube channel, not without refining it a little bit first. So, all right. Did anybody else want to see anything with the letters deck before I put the letters deck away? So yeah, you get some fun, cool toys. So we saw the piano card, and then the sandwich card. There you go. And then the letters, of course. Okay. That was fun. Okay, let's see here. Update my queue. Wait, did I already update it with a magician's choice? 1 minute ago. Okay, yep. I think that's... Did that cover it? Let me do another one. Okay. All right. Let's see. The other day, my computer just randomly disconnected from my Wi-Fi. So my apologies if that ends up happening. I think I'm still online right now, so shouldn't be an issue, but then again, sometimes it has happened. Let me make sure I'm still streaming. Yep, still streaming. Okay. Okay, let's see. We do have a couple of boss tricks that I have not done anything with since I got them. Let's see here. Oh, okay. All right. I should do one of these right now. Okay. So reset. All right. So if people don't know what a boss trick is, it's just something that I did not do well. So I'm going to be in a previous stream. I should have practiced it, whether I did or not. Doesn't really matter. But I'm going to be trying to do it now. So, all right. So here's one. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, you know what? Let's use these. Okay. And then let's see. How did I set this up? Okay, boom, 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 boom. And then over here, boom, 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 boom. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. All right. So this trick is called reset. Let me make sure I'm close to the center here. Okay. All right. So we have the. Oh wait. Turn these over. Yeah. Okay. So we have the Jack of clubs, Jack of diamonds, Jack of spades, Jack of hearts. I don't know why I'm coughing all of a sudden, but I'll leave all the jacks over here. We've got all of the aces over here. And actually, let me see if I have my old props for this. Because if I do, I can do the... no, I don't know if I can... They're not right here. Alright, so remember this state. Aces are over here, jacks are over here. But what we're going to do now is, if I just wave the ace over the other packet, nothing happens. Right? So I actually, if I take the ace and I touch it, it'll actually change to one of the jacks. Okay, so now we've got a couple aces. Some people think that I can't do it while the aces are face up. Look, if I wave over, nothing happens. But if I touch it, I mean, it's harder to hide if something happens because they're face up, but look, an ace has turned into a jack. Some people think that I can't do it 2 cards at a time, but look, if I just go ahead and touch both of these cards at the same time, they turn into the jacks. So actually, if these are the jacks, then that means these should be the aces. Yep, there's... But we can reset this whole thing and put all of the aces back into this pile, because now if we take a look, all the aces are over here. And then, of course, all of the jacks are over here. And that, my friends, I'll call a successful performance of reset. And I'll even say I beat the boss on that one. So. Hey, 101 tricks defeated. Awesome. Thank you kindly for the claps, E-Room, and thanks for the Ace of Diamonds emotes there. Those are Infozar's Ace of Diamonds emotes. And then let's see here. All right, if you have been sitting for a while and you haven't hydrated, please feel free to hydrate. I don't know what is up with my throat just now. I don't know if it got dry or something happened to my throat, but all right. So it's quiet time of stream, so I feel like it's okay. I can chill out for a minute, but queue is empty. If anybody wants to request any magic, feel free. Um, so this past week, I've spent making some new YouTube videos, enabling tips. I created a not a buy me a coffee. Ko-fi. So if anybody has ever heard of Ko-fi, I created a Ko-fi so it can accept tips and stuff there as well. I updated the tips command here. Um, Not that anybody has to donate. I just wanted to show you guys that they exist. And also, it's kind of nice QA if somebody clicks on it, just make sure that it goes to the right place. I verified. I think they're correct. So, but just to double check. But and then let's see. I applied to maybe about a dozen and a half jobs in the past like week and a half. Most of which I don't hear back from. Two of them I did hear back from, but like one of them was filled, and then the other one was just what's it called? They said I was not qualified. This so if anybody remembers last week, this is the job that I said that I applied to because it was so weird, and they were looking for a developer that did Haskell. But the job listing, quote unquote, didn't require it. They just said, "Oh, if you have experience in Haskell or you're interested in learning," and I'm like, I could learn. Like, oh, Beth says, "Thank you for the hydrate reminder." You're welcome, Beth. Yeah, I know that a lot of streamers will sometimes forget to hydrate, and then I'm trying to like be the opposite because I'm like, well, I know that people who watch Twitch will sometimes forget to hydrate too, so it's like, you know. Um, And then let's see what else. As far as like the job hunt goes, the good thing is that I had a bunch of friends and like former coworkers and colleagues and stuff reach out. Everybody had like warm messages, like messages of commiseration, and they were like, "Hey, heard you were looking. Here's some links, or I'll keep an eye out." So I mean, it's all helpful, and even if nothing comes of it, like it's just nice to know that my friends and coworkers and colleagues got my back. So it's been nice. I did reconnect with some people, so that was nice. And then let's see what else. I have been learning. I've been learning how to. I've been learning Python. So at first I was like, let me see what I can do with data frames, and then I think I understand generally what data frames are. So if you can query a database, you can use Python data frames to basically visualize data. So that's pretty cool. And then I was like, I don't really understand like some of the more basic things about Python, and I was like, I can do things in this data frame, but I don't know anything about regular. So I decided to. So if anybody knows board games, you guys know I love board games. I have a ton of board games. I was like, let me just pick something simple that I can try to implement. So right now I'm trying to implement a two-player card game called Brave Rats. If anybody's ever played Brave Rats, you get 8 cards in your hand. They all have a number and an ability, and then you just play. Whoever wins like 4 tricks, basically first wins, and that's it. But uh, that's yeah. So I'm more than halfway done. Like I'm basically at the point where I have the models for everything. I have like most of the complicated game logic, so I just have to have like right now I'm just at the point where I want to have a loop where I can play with like an opponent that just plays random cards. And then I was thinking if I could introduce machine learning to try and like create the perfect Brave Rats opponent. The search space isn't even that huge. I could probably brute force it all, but like I don't know if it would be more fun to try and create something something else like that. So anyway, that is the idea, but that's kind of like what I was working on this past week a little bit. Writing Brave Rats in Python is basically what I've been doing. So, all right, let me find some cards for the Devil's Elevator. Thanks for the request, Charlie. And you know what? Let me try and incorporate Charlie's beats into this. I normally would just use the 2, 3, 4, and 5, but we can use Charlie, who is the ace of spades. Okay. All right. Um, E-Room has the dark mode emotes ready to go. Oh yeah, I forgot. So I hadn't seen that one in a long time. I forgot that one is a global. Oh yeah, speaking of which, I don't know what happened, but last couple of weeks there had been some issues with some of my sounds. And today the bang went off without an issue, and the applause I think that I heard went off without an issue. So let me just double check and just try this. Everything sounds fine, right? Like I don't know what it was, but the last couple of streams, some of the sounds were very slow, and I don't think it was this computer, but it must have been. So I don't know. All right. Anyway, here we go. Devil's Elevator. So what we have over here are the red 6s and 9s. I just want to use red over here just so that they don't clash with the black, but also at certain angles, aside from the memes, the 6 and 9 memes, at certain angles these might look like 666. And so there's that. And then over here, we have the 2, the 3, the 4, and then I'll use Charlie's Beats as the final card. So let me go ahead and I'll place the red 6s and 9s over here just for a second. I'm going to lay out the cards over here. And first we have the Ace of Spades, which is actually going to be the last card that we put into the Devil's Elevator. Then we have the 4 of Spades. Then we have the 3 of Spades. And then the 2 of Spades I'm going to place on top right here. So, first things first, if you didn't know, hell is a business. It's not just a religious place, but it's a business. And so, if you ever get stuck in hell, these cards will represent the levels of hell. So here's the first level of hell, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth. And of course, the lower you are in the levels of hell, the harder it is to escape. So obviously, in order to escape, you need to be up at the uppermost level because that's the one closest to the surface. And so here is what we'll do. We're going to go ahead and take the 2, and we're going to place it in the second level of hell right here. But the 2 knows how to get out. So they're going to find this maintenance elevator that exists, and then they're going to operate it. And in this case, we'll hold it here and give it a twist. But then the elevator will go from the second level of hell to the first level of hell. And so if we just give it a second, that 2 will be at the uppermost level of hell, which is the easiest one to escape from. Now if we take the 3 and we place the 3 in the third level of hell, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, place that in there. And so the 3 goes and finds the way to interact with the elevator. Gets in the elevator, goes up, second level, then the first level, the topmost level. I don't know if you can tell, but now the 3 can escape from the uppermost level. And some people believe, hey, wait, maybe they were in hell the whole time. But no, if you take a look, these are the same red 6s and 9s that we've been using the entire time. So now let's go ahead and take the 4, place it into the fourth level of hell. First, second, third, fourth. It's going to go in there. And if we just go ahead and have them interact with the elevator, they'll do the little twist. They'll go up from the fourth level, the third level, second level, first level. Here we go. And they found a way. Some people believe that perhaps there is more than like 4 cards here that will be used as the levels help, but no, these are the only same 4 cards we've been using the whole time. And we're just going to go ahead and place the, this would be the 5 conceptually, but it's Charlie's Beats. Now I know that Charlie's Beats has seen this trick many times and knows how to get from the 5th level of hell all the way up to the 1st level of hell. All he has to do is find the elevator, interact with it. It's going to go from the 5th, the 4th, the 3rd, the 2nd level of hell, all the way up to the 1st level of hell. And this is the easiest one for Charlie's Beats to escape from. And that, my friends, is the Devil's Elevator. Thank you for the request, Charlie. Thank you kindly for the claps, Charlie. And that is Devil's Elevator. Let's see. There is another trick that's similar to that. Little Devil. We can continue this story. So the Devils have found that Charlie's Beats has escaped hell one too many times. And so what's going to happen is they're going to pull him back. But let's leave Charlie off to the side over here just for a second. And we will go ahead and place Charlie here in the 2nd level of hell, because the devils want him back. However, he gets in the elevator and gets back out because, well, there he is. So he gets out, but the devils are like, no, no, you need to come on back, Charlie. And they put him in the 3rd level of hell for a second, 3rd. And once again, Charlie knows how to get out. And so 3rd, 2nd, 1st, and here he is. But now the devil is like, no, 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 you've run away from hell one too many times. And so they're going to place him in the 4th level. The 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th level of hell. And twist, he's going to go from the 4th, 2nd, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st. I almost forgot how to count there for a second. But look. Some people believe that Charlie can just run around. It's like a maze in hell, and you know, it kind of is, but. And once again, the devils try and pull Charlie to the 5th level of hell for a 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. And we give that a twist. Sorry, Charlie interacts with the elevator, goes from 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st, and now here he is. And that is the Little Devil. Now, here's my philosophical question. Is the Little Devil talking about the devil pulling Charlie back, or is the Little Devil Charlie escaping from hell every single time? That's the question, right? Okay. All right. So let's see here. I'm thinking about ending stream in about a half an hour, and then after that we'll find somebody to raid. But half an hour is plenty of time. We can still do a bunch of tricks. Okay. Oh, so fun story that I recently interacted with somebody that sent me a message through my crazy Asian email from YouTube. And because I had alluded to this system that I've been working on really for the last couple of years, where I'm trying to encode card magic into some readable format so that I've been using it like it's akin to sheet music for musicians, but it's for card magic, and I don't think it's going to be exactly translatable as far as like that. But the idea is that at a glance you can kind of understand a trick as it goes through a trick, and I want to publish my ideas about it because I have no idea if I'm going to ever have like some time off of work. So while I'm in this, lull where I'm looking for employment, I plan on publishing my ideas about this maybe in a few weeks. I want to get a couple of other videos up before I get to this point, but uh, I'm going to be, um, I'm probably going to create a channel in my Discord, which, by the way, if anybody wants to join the Discord, you're welcome to. I've opened it up. It's public now. I mean, it was public before, but I just didn't put the link anywhere. But now I'm like really opening it up because um, who knows? Who knows how long I'll be in this rut of looking for employment. So, but yeah, so I'll be putting that somewhere, and then yeah, that's the idea. And let me see here. If anybody wants a preview, hold on. Maybe if I just open it on my phone really quick. So there's that trick that I did, not just now, but like a couple of tricks ago called reset. Um, I was looking at the sheet that I wrote for that because basically to start off, it's hard to remember the initial setup, but sleight reading. I've been calling it sleight reading. And let me see here. Reset. Okay. So I'm basing the system on like model view controller. If anybody's familiar with like web stuff. And so here's like what the sheet looks like for the model of this trick, which is basically supposed to denote the state of the deck or packet at any given time. I know it's not clear, but right now I don't want it to be that clear. And then the controller is basically the oh, and not all the symbols show up nicely here. That's interesting. Well, I guess that'll make it more obfuscated. But basically, all of the moves that will change like the model, so the state of the packet, are listed here. And so if you ever need to know, like my idea is that at a glance at the controller column, you'll basically be able to tell if you know all the sleights for doing the trick or not. And then I have a column for the view, which I have nothing for this trick, but it's basically what the audience should see, um, based on this. So E-room with the scandalous wait, Pharaoh shuffle. Like, okay. Straighten cards. All right. So first of all, I don't think I can do a Pharaoh shuffle with decks that are not the same, at least quality. However, we can give E-room scandalous shuffle a try. I can definitely shuffle them together. All right. So, all right, E-room, we're gonna give this a try. All right. So first of all, let's get everything that we need. So we have the triangle deck. If anybody hasn't seen the triangle deck, this is what the triangle deck box looks like. And then what is this? The Christmas deck. Okay, so I have the Christmas Charlie Brown deck. Here we go. Okay, so I think this is what we need here. Okay, it's Pharaoh Shuffle Triangle deck with Christmas deck. Once shuffled, cut in half, and Pharaoh Shuffle again. Straighten cards after first shuffle, half point. No straighten cards after first shuffle, 1 point. All right, so first of all, you cannot do a Pharaoh Shuffle without straightening the cards because of how I don't even know if I could do a Pharaoh Shuffle with just the triangle cards. So let me even see if I could even do it with this. And the other thing is I know that the Christmas cards are not perfectly straight, which like flat, like which is required for a Pharaoh Shuffle. So, all right, let me attempt just Pharaoh Shuffling triangle cards. And I'm almost certain I don't know how to do it with. So like there's no way I'll be able to get like an even. So here's my very rough, messy Pharaoh Shuffle with just the triangle cards. So you can push them in. That's a little bit rough. They might not interweave very well. I could probably riffle them, but that's not a Pharaoh Shuffle. So, and I can't get perfect Pharaohs even with a regular deck anyway. All right, so here's the Charlie Brown deck. Let me just see if I can even Pharaoh these. This might not be Pharaohable. So like I'm trying to push them in. They are not going in. Let me turn them this way. Let's give this a shot. Okay, here we go. Let's see if I can Pharaoh them this way. Oh no, this is not even the way. So the Charlie Brown cards won't even Pharaoh. They won't even interweave with each other. So the thing is, I think they're actually thicker. They might be slightly thicker than like regular playing cards. Okay, I had to force like some of them, and the Pharaoh is not really that good because like here's a chunk right here that just wouldn't go. Keep trying, lol. Oh, ads. All right. My sympathies. All right, I will keep on trying. Okay, so hold on. Let me just go back and read the redeem here. So Pharaoh Shuffle triangle cards with Christmas deck once shuffled, cut in half and Pharaoh Shuffle again. Straighten cards after the first shuffle equals half a point. No straighten cards. Okay, so I'm certain I could riffle these, but I don't even think I could Pharaoh them. So let me attempt. Let me see. Because like as part of like a Pharaoh, you need to have like the edge like flush. So hold on. Let me get a controlled. So here's a regular deck. If I was to take this and I was to Pharaoh here, so I actually use the corners, and they do have to be lined up kind of okay. And I'll press them into each other. That one's mostly okay. So like here's a regular, slightly worn deck Pharaoh. So I mostly got it except for like there's a double over here, like right there. But so the process of doing that Pharaoh goes in. So I'm going corner to corner. I need them straight and flat because if it's all jumbled, actually let me just quickly jumble this and then like not straighten and see if I could even do a Pharaoh. So if they're not, so let's say I don't push everything in, it's basically impossible to do a Pharaoh because I can't line everything up perfectly. So like they just won't go. Like I can force them together, but that's not really. It's just mashing them together. So, all right, okay. So back to these guys. I figured point in triangular cards would be easier to use. Uh, the thing is, if I was used to holding them, it might be, but hold on. I actually didn't try the Pharaoh Shuffle with the triangle cards this way. So let's see if I could Pharaoh this way. So yeah, if you can see how they're bending, they're not really going into each other. So actually, I think the way that they would have to Pharaoh is this way. And there's a chance I'm going to ruin these cards. This is the deck that I would show people, though. All right, so not quite easy, but... So that's just the triangle cards. Okay. Okay, so here we go. Nice, I came up with something impossible. E-room. Okay, all right, so here we go. Let me attempt. You know, first of all, E-Room. The intent of Scandalous Shuffle was never you tell me how to shuffle, like which shuffle to use. That was not the intent. But since you are a regular and you might be one of like 2 people that have requested this the most. Actually, at this point, you might be the person who has requested the Scandalous Shuffle the most. I'm willing to give your thing a try, but okay. So here we go. I'm gonna Pharaoh Shuffle. I'm gonna attempt to Pharaoh Shuffle half of the triangle cards with half of the Christmas Christmas deck. Okay, so here we go. I'm trying it. Pushing this in. It is not going in. Yeah, I don't even think, because this doesn't even have a corner. Well, I guess the top of the ornament has a corner, but it's not quite the same. I don't know if you guys can see that there. Yeah, this is not interweaving very well. Okay, all right. So, E-Room, this is what you're going to get. We are going to riffle these together. Triangle cards seem to bend too much. I mean, the triangle cards are as stiff as they are, but yeah, they don't have as much. Yeah, these are actually surprisingly thicker, but they're way less they're way less good quality paper. This is like this feels like a playing card, and this doesn't feel like a playing card, basically. All right, here we go. There's the riffle. That looks actually surprisingly clean and neat. Here's a riffle. So now we have our Charlie Brown Christmas card riffled in with triangle cards. Surprisingly compact. I thought maybe there would be more sticking out of the triangle cards, but this is pretty good. And then now the question is, can I riffle this together? Nice riffle. All right. Thanks, E-Room. Thanks for the applause. All right, here we go. Let me attempt to do this riffle together. Oh, no. That's... oh, okay. It wasn't that bad, I guess. All right. So here, now we've riffled the half riffles. It looks like this. All right. So, okay. That is the extent in which that scandalous shuffle is happening. Thanks for the redeem, E-Room. Sorry, I had to abandon the pharaoh nature of the shuffle, but I think, to be fair, I think I gave it a good shot as best as I could. But at the end of the day, I think we just have to riffle these together. All right, now actually, can I separate these? This should be easy, I think. This should be pretty easy to separate because even though they lined up nicely, there's like this corner that sticks out for the triangle cards. Oh, look at that! Hey, I think from any scandalous shuffle, this might have been the cleanest separation I've ever seen. So, um, there we go. All right. Boom. All right. Thanks for that, redeem E-Room. Oh, E-Room says, if you ever have a Christmas party with 52 guests, you can use the Christmas cards as drink coasters. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I don't think I would. There's just too much fun novelty for stream, and I wouldn't want to damage them, but yes. I have a box of disposable cards that I can use as coasters instead. They're not round, but I'm willing to sacrifice 2 cards for one one coaster. Yeah, I'm gonna say that yeah, these are not a good quality playing card, but for the novelty value of what I've been able to do with them on stream, very valuable. I think out of all of the decks, we've seen this one the most just because you guys I don't even know if it's just E-Room, honestly. E-Room, you've probably mentioned this deck probably more than anybody else. I guess the fact is, like, if people come and they're new, they haven't seen this before. They haven't seen this deck before. But yeah, I have a lot of decks of cards. All right, too many cards. Okay, so the question is, can I do too many cards with the triangle cards? That's the question. All right, E-Room. All right, I'm willing to try this for science. So let's see if I can do this. I may not be able to, but that's okay. 3, 4, 5. Welcome back, Gibson Lens. How's it going, Bert? E-Room says yes, yes, yes. Okay, all right. So, okay, all right. The card handling is going to be weird because I'm holding triangle cards. So, geez, all right. The risk of messing up is high here. All right, here we go. I'm going to attempt too many cards with the triangle cards. So here, what we've got is the ace of diamonds, the 2 of diamonds, the 3 of diamonds, the 4 of diamonds, and the 5 of diamonds. Okay, so here we go. First things first, if I take the ace, I place it into the middle of the packet like so. It's not on the top, not on the bottom. If I go ahead and I snap, believe it or not, the ace will jump back up to the top. I don't know if you can tell, but that looks like an ace of diamonds to me. It's one gigantic ace of diamond. You can't miss it. But if I go ahead and I grab it and I take it and I put it into the middle of the deck again, in the middle of the pack like this, if I snap, that will bring the ace back up to the top. I know what you're thinking. It's way too hard to follow the cards because there's 5 cards and they're triangle and you only have 2 eyes. So I'm going to go ahead and remove one of the cards. All right, so here we go. Let me show you. We've got the... I just realized I have to start over. And I'll tell you why. Because I am not doing the trick right. I mean, that I did do that trick right, but there's something that I did not do very importantly. Okay. Doing the wrong trick? No. I'm doing the correct trick. But so I got to the ace and the 2, right? But when I got to the 3, I was not ready for the 3. So we're gonna start over. And you'll have to give me a break because, triangle cards. But yeah, I just realized that I would have messed up by the time we got to the 3. All right, cool. There we go. So, all right, here we go. It's always the number. Yeah. So here we have the ace, the 2, the 3, the 4, and the 5 of diamonds, okay? So here's what we're going to do. Once again, I'm just going to speed run through this first part. The ace, boom. Take the ace, place it into the middle of the deck. But look, you know what? I'm just going to do this snap. That will bring the ace back up to the top. Ta-da! There's the ace. Now, if I go ahead and I do it again, I'm going to take it and I'm going to place it in the middle of the packet. If I snap, that will bring it back up to the top. Okay, now we're basically kind of back to where we were before. All right. There's 5 cards, 2 eyes. Can't follow them all. Let me take one out. Boom. Okay, there we go. All right. Now, here's the 2. I'm going to do this with the 2. Look, if I put the 2 here in the middle of the deck, like so, but if I snap, that will bring the 2 back up to the top. But look, if I do it again, if I snap, that will bring the 2 back up to the top. All right, there we go. Okay, so now here's the part. I'm going to do something different with the 3. So look, we have our 5 and our 3 and our 4. But look, if I go ahead and I place the 3 in between the 4 and the 5, if I go ahead and I, instead of snapping, if I hold the packet and I give it a shake, that shake will change everything, because now if I show you, we still have our 4, we still have our 5, but actually the 3 has turned itself face down. Now if I turn the 4 and the 5 face down and I put the 3 in between the 4 and the 5 and I give it a shake, that's actually going to turn our 3 face back up. Is that weird? That's super weird, right? Anyway, 3 cards, 2 eyes. It's hard to follow along, I understand. So let me go ahead and remove the 3. So now there should be no excuse, because we've got the 4 and the 5 here. Okay. And look, if I go ahead and I take the 4 and I put it underneath the 5, you would expect it to actually be on the bottom. But all I have to do is snap, and actually that will bring the 4 back up to the top, and the 5 is still here on the bottom. I know, is that weird? That's super weird, right? But actually, if I go ahead and I, you know what? There should be no excuses in following along, because there's 2 cards and you have 2 eyes. But if I just go ahead and I remove the 4, so I should have a 5 here, correct? Right. But look, if I go ahead and I hold this and I give it a twist, wow, this is so satisfying to twist. Look at this design with the twist. That design with the twist is amazing. But I don't know if you could tell. This is a 5, but it's not the 5 that you're thinking, because it's actually not the 5 of diamonds. It's the 5 of clubs. And that, my friends, is, I'll call that a successful performance of too many cards with triangle cards. Fidget spinner twist. Yeah, absolutely, Erim, right? Right? Doo-doo-doo. Look at that. Thank you kindly for the claps and the applause, E-Room, and thank you, Bert, for the claps. All right, so that was with the triangle cards. Oh wait, where's my fidget spinner? I remember I had a fidget spinner that I've shown on stream, and then I've put it away, and I don't know where it is. Is it here? If it's not in here, hang on. Nope, not in here. Is it in this other box? Nope, those are just coins. I think I put my fidget spinner away, so I won't be able to show it. Hold on, I'm just exploring what I've put in various boxes in things here. But no, I don't have my fidget spinner immediately available. Oh well. Okay. All right. I think. Let's see. Yurum says, I don't think the triangle cards are the right cards for that trick, or pretty much any other trick too. Lol. Yeah, it's, by the way, the triangle cards, I have them kind of as a novelty, but like they are not really the best to handle. Because like, if you just take a look at like a regular deck, so magicians have come up with like ways to hold a deck of cards. And so I don't even know if you would know what the formal name of like holding the deck when you're just dealing, but a lot of people will call this dealer's grip, or as we in card magic might call it, mechanic's grip. And basically you just deal cards from this grip, and this is like how you naturally would hold the deck. A lot of people would hold the deck. There's a couple of other like ways to hold a deck or a packet, and it's like, this is like the elevated version. So like the regular version sits in your hand like this. In Indiana we call it holding the deck. Oh, okay, all right. Ads, there we go. I'll just show you different grips, and you won't have to do anything there. I guess in the interim, since I want to end soon, let me do last call if anybody wants to request anything. of course, I'll put in a finale, and then, but let me hold the triangle cards here. And so, yeah, dealing the triangle cards is super weird because there's no equivalent for like mechanics grip. If he's still streaming, there's a rare chance. Oh, okay, interesting. Thanks for the tip. Thanks for the tip, Bert. Let me see here. Oh, okay, all right, cool. I got a swimming life jacket ad. WTF? E-room. Do you not swim? Is that not something you do? Let's see. Find. Hold on. Let me check my spreadsheet. Have we? I think I've only rated Neptune once. Or have I never? Oh, maybe I've never. Spreadsheet does not say I've ever rated Neptune. So maybe I've never. No, I've never rated Neptune. Okay. Gibson then says, I don't swim. Oh, okay. So I said I might stream more last week, but last week was filled with a bunch of busy stuff and me dealing with like, oh, by the way, funny story. You know what? I'll get to the funny story after I talk about this. All right, so um, yeah, so the regular deck has different grips, and last thing I remember E-Room saying was, yeah, we just in Indiana we just call that holding the deck. So yeah, we hold the deck like this. There's another grip where it's just elevated here. Believe it or not, when I hold the deck or packet like this with this grip, that has a grip too. We call that biddle grip or like end grip. And so the big difference between like something like this is that we have support on all four sides with like fingers here. But this we have to grip it basically because it's only from the front and the back, but it allows cards to come off the side really easily. So oh yeah, where was I going with this? We can't use any regular grips with a triangle deck of cards because I basically have to find ways to do this. And so this is kind of comfortable. This is harder. It doesn't feel as natural like in the palm because it's like where do I put the pointy side? Like I mean I know there's three, but like one side will be the flat and then the opposite side will be pointy. So it doesn't feel natural really anywhere. I think I've settled on like this being probably the most natural. This is probably the closest to like mechanics grip here. But then like how would you do end grip? It's basically the same because you can't grab the opposite sides. But like it doesn't like I'd have to do it like this because then cards won't come off easily. Because if I do it like this, I can't pull the cards easily. So anyway, okay. Eroom says it was pretty cool life jacket. No swimming for me, aka bacteria dip. I'm not real friendly with flesh-eating bacteria or brain-eating amoebas. Oh yeah. So I mean, the thing is, it's like I wouldn't go swimming in any random body of water. Like, yep, the slide is the problem. Yeah. So I don't know if you've ever dealt with pool chemistry, but like I live in an area where we don't have that much summer, so I have to like eh, basically jump in the pool every single time we have good weather because otherwise it's not worth it because we have to close the pool for winter because it snows here. And so, but yeah, to balance out the pool chemicals and to make sure that it's safe, it's like you have to buy like hundreds of dollars worth of pool chemicals and put it in the pool and it basically dissolves and then over time it just degrades and then it's like oh you have to buy more pool chemicals to put in so that it's safe to hop in again. But anyway, yeah. And I was looking up because my pool was a little bit acidic for a few days and I'm like is it safe to jump in the pool if it's a little bit more acidic than humans are used to? And they're like yeah it's fine if you have skin irritation or whatever then hop out, but it might burn the eyes or whatever. I use goggles, so that's not non-issue. But the important thing is you can't have it too acidic because it can degrade your pool equipment. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to replace my pool equipment. So I was like, safe for people, not good. And then if it's too basic, then it is too friendly for microbes and things like that. And the biggest thing we have to worry about in pools is algae. So if we have a big cloudy plume or it becomes green, then obviously there's living things in there that you can't swim with. So, is your pool in ground or above? My pool is an in ground pool. So, yeah. We weren't looking for one, but it came with the house that we bought. So, and I've been swimming in it basically every year. So, got any pics of it? I do. I'm not sure if I. Let me see if I have one kind of close to, because I'll have to go back like months. Give me a second. I think I took some pictures of the pool like a few days ago, so I should have some. I've got some cool selfies of me in walking in the park too. But oh, okay, all right, yeah, here. I have. Wait, can I auto rotate this? Okay, there we go. All right, let me show you a picture of my in-ground pool. It's kind of a big pool. There it is. I was actually thinking if the weather is really good and I decide to stream outside, i.e., I'm okay with bringing the laptop outside, I might stream a pool stream because, yeah. So there we go. That is my pool. E-Room says, I got a plastic baby pool. I use it as a cat litter box. Works great. Awesome. All right, let's see. Nice pool. Glad you enjoy it. Yeah, I mean, like, if you have it, you kind of have to, right? Because otherwise it's this big thing in the ground. And my wife and I have joked about filling it in, um, because it's like so much work. But then the actual act of like destroying and filling in a pool is super expensive. And I'm like, well, if we just keep it, at least my daughter will learn how to swim without having to pay for swim lessons. So, um, all right. So let's see. I think I want to do days for the finale today, and then let's see here. All right. Okay. So, and then I'm also planning a cooking stream, hopefully this week as well. So, basically to make up for last week, I'm gonna try and stream a few times. So, we'll see how it goes. And then, I've also been secretly working on potentially doing a co-working stream as well. And so, yeah, I'd probably during my co-working, I would be applying to jobs is or learning Python, probably the other candidate for things. But anyway, yeah. What days, times for streams? I have no idea. That's the thing. Probably during the what I would consider the work day. But E-Room, are you in the Discord yet? If you're not, I'll make all the announcements in my Discord as I go until I figure out a schedule because right now I don't know if I can commit to one for sure. But yeah, actually, let me just make sure you're in there, E-Room. E-Room. All right, I just invited you, so there you go. Cool. We'll keep an eye open. Figure it's the same time zone. I'll catch you. Oh yeah, that's right. So yeah, sounds good. It'll probably be during the week, during the day is my guess. I'm obviously not going to be swimming in the pool at night because even if I had lights, I don't think it would show up very well on the stream. So anyway, all right. So anyway, thank you everybody for coming out to hang out with me tonight. I know I've been in a weird place, mostly because employment, lack of it is looming over my head. Um, I do have like plans in action. I do, and I recognize that I'm probably in a better situation than like a lot of other people. So we did get news earlier this week that yeah, the thing that I want to bring up earlier this week, we got news that there were like 9,000 plus Microsoft employees that got laid off too. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna be competing with them. And then also I found out that the company that I was working for, so they are getting acquired. This is actually public information. And it came out like a few days ago. And I'm like, what? So I don't know if I like dodged a bullet or if this was kind of part of the big plan or the idea, but I think all of the pieces in my mind make sense. If anybody wants to talk to me more about it, we can chat about it offline. But I was just like, whoa, okay. And so I don't know. I don't know if it was coincidence that like I was so just to like I haven't used the word layoff because I don't think exactly what happened to me was a layoff, but they offered me a severance and I decided to take it, is basically what happened. And so that's effectively what happened. And then a couple days later, I find out that the company is getting acquired by another company. And I'm like, huh, okay. So I don't think that's necessarily a coincidence, but I don't want to say that all of this happened in a vacuum either. So I'm like, all right, that's cool, I guess. The good news is that once this acquisition occurs, I had some stock, and so I might be getting a little bit of extra money. So maybe the pressure of like immediately finding a job is just slightly less lessened. So anyway, kind of like I would say goodish in a way news. All right, okay. So that's what I had to say. There we go. Um, all right. Hooray, Mark Rides. Oh, Mark Rides. Hello. How's it going? Welcome in. Mark Rides, if you want to think about this, let me know. But is there a magic trick that you would like to see that you've never seen me do? Um, or like a theme of something? Let me know. Because Mark Rides, I would like to create a magic trick for you. So you can let me know in on Discord or something, and if you know whether it's like some IP that you've never seen, or maybe it's a trick about you, or you know if you want to let me know, and I want to make a trick for you, Mark Rides. So let me know. Okay. All right. Cool. Anyway, thank you guys so much for coming to hang out with me. Hopefully everybody is having a wonderful summer so far. Happy Independence Day, July 4th. And then also remember, if you like video games, Summer Games Done Quick is happening right now, happening all week. So you can watch speed runs, and they're going to be raising money for Doctors Without Borders. So definitely check them out. I have no idea what tricks you never performed surprise me. Ah, okay. All right. Very well then, Mark writes. I will surprise you. Thank you for letting me know, and I'll let you know. Okay. And then also, thank you to everybody who interacted with the stream today. Hey, wait. Hey, what was the game you played in the lab story? In the lab story? What do you mean? Um, I've been playing a bunch of different games lately. But let's see. I've been playing a game called For the Warp, which is like a deck building space game. I've been playing Road 96. I've been playing what's that other one? Death Roads Tournament. So those are the ones that I've been randomly playing. If anybody had just, I haven't been streaming those. I've just been, playing them whenever. But what was the game? It was were you talking about the one I streamed? It's The Cave. Was that it? I think if you're talking about the one I streamed, that's called The Cave. All right. Where was I? Oh, yes. Thank you for everybody who interacted with the stream. Thanks for chatting, requesting tricks, sound alerts, emotes, all of that. If that was all. If it wasn't for you guys, this wouldn't be as much fun for me. Also, thank you, and my apologies if it sounds like I've been talking a little bit more about my personal life lately, but as you can imagine, things in your personal life do affect you. So, um, the cave you had trapped underground at the end, I think there was a shootout. Oh, okay. Was that the cave? Yeah. I think it's probably the cave. Yeah, because you're trapped. Yeah, you're trapped underground. It's the cave. Thank you to all the lurkers out there. You were in a medical lab of sorts. Oh, oh no. Okay. The game that you're talking about is The Complex. That's the one I played. Yeah, yeah. It's like a movie, right? Yeah. So I played The Complex. It was like a movie, and you were stuck underground. You made decisions. It's kind of like a choose your own adventure, and then yeah. I actually replayed a bunch of that off of stream, and I got almost all of the endings. So it's actually a really good game. I think as far as like, here's the thing: the story could have been a little bit better, but just understand that they were writing it for like a choose your own adventure. Yeah. Theme a trick on that, please. Oh, oh, I see. All right, let me make a note of that. Mark rides. So let's see. Mark rides. Theme a trick as the complex. All right, sounds good. Let me do that for the future. Thank you. Thank you kindly. I may have to replay that just to refresh myself. All right. Thank you to all the lurkers out there, because magic, one of those rare art forms where if I'm practicing magic at home, there's no magic happening. Magic has to happen in your mind. Um, if you think that I do real magic, obviously I even messed up some tricks today. But everything you see here is sleight of hand. It's not black magic, sorcery, or deals with the devil, even though we did a couple devil tricks today. But if you believe that it's real magic, and perfect cover story. All right, and so, guys, let's give some mod love to our friends and mods. If you're not following our friend and mod Chan the Magic Man, please give Chan the Magic Man a follow. Chan the Magic Man, also a magician that practices magic on Twitch as well on Magic Mondays. So give him a follow, check him out. If you catch him other times, he's doing retro games, maybe playing Grand Theft Auto. So also, if you are not following our friend and mod Gibson Lens, aka Bert, pianist, also avid movie watcher and reviewing movies on his stream. Also released an album a few months ago, so definitely you can check it out. You can listen to it for free at that link tree, so check it out. Mark Ride says, some guy tried to do magic with his receipt where I worked. He got passed when I pulled up a copy of his receipt showing how he actually paid. Oh, interesting. I don't know how you would do magic with a receipt if it wasn't like a vanish and reproduction. I guess you could pretend to tear and restore it, but yeah, interesting. All right. And so, I think that's that. All right. Let's go ahead and get to the finale. And sorry if my cameras look all weird and messed up. I had to change my OBS settings, and so I didn't know how to immediately fix them. And things are, it's actually way more messed up for me than it probably looks like for you guys. Rip it in half, ink blitz over the amount of cash you actually paid, hoping for all the cash back. Oh, interesting. All right. So I've got a packet of cards here. Here's a 6 of diamonds. Here's a queen of clubs. But if we look at the rest of the cards, they all look normal here. But these 4 other cards, if I flip it over, it's going to look a little bit weird because they're backs on both sides, except for this one. This one is blank. But here's what, if I go ahead and I grab these cards and I place it over the 6, it'll actually reflect the 6. Not only that, all the cards actually will become 6s. Is that weird? Super weird, right? But now if I grab the cards and I reflect it over the queen, some people believe that I'll reflect the queen, but actually we know what's going to happen. All of the cards will turn into queens. Just like that. Weird, huh? Yeah. And even at this moment, we can see that they're all still queens up until we grab this card. But it's not until the blank face hits, because now they're all blank. At this point, some people are like, hey, can I see the backs of those? And I'm like, yeah, sure. 1, 2, 3, 4 backs. And that, my friends, I'll call a successful finale. Is this the dazed trick? Yes, this is the dazed card trick. Thank you kindly for the claps. E-Room. Yeah, I'll call that a successful performance of Dazed. So, Mark Rides, just to let you know, yeah, that trick is basically powered purely by Elmsley counts. So, if you know, you know. Thank you kindly for the claps. Bert. Wait, but wasn't it all our heads aren't actually, they all actually blank? Yes. So, here's the trick progression. So, you have the 3 cards on the table face up at the beginning, and then you have the 3 cards in your hands, and then you add the 6 to it, and they all turn into 6s. Then I'll take the 6 out, add a queen, they all become queens. Then I take the queen out, and then I add the blank, they all become blank. They put it back. Oh, our heads aren't the actual, they are all actually blank. Oh, okay. I think the trick you're talking about is trading kings. That's a different one. Oh no, imagination. Oh yeah. I think you're talking about imagine, which is also known as chop the Monty or chop shop. So yeah, that's the other trick I think that you're talking about. Yep. So all right, let's see who is streaming. And we had a recommendation for a target. Let's see if they're still going. I'm not sure if I see Neptune Music. Are they not streaming anymore? Neptune rated out. Oh, okay. All right. Cool. Well, let's see who else is on. Yeah, I know. Sorry, we went on a bunch of tangents. I also said we were going to end the stream like 20 minutes ago, and we're still going. So, sorry, my fault. Although I'll admit that because that there isn't, I don't have work tomorrow. The pressure is a little bit off. It's just that I was going to spend some time doing a YouTube thing after. So, Craig is on. Oh wait. Oh yeah, guys, we might have to raid Craig because we owe like Craig like 25 raids or something. So, all right, let's go over there, guys. All right. So, if anybody would like to follow us on this raid, here's a raid. Here's a sub raid. We're gonna be raiding our friend Alchemutation, aka Craig, and let's start the raid. Alchemutation. There we go. All right. Let me copy my own raid call. All right. Thanks everybody for coming out and hanging out with me. And I know it was a little bit of a quiet night, but I understand that there's also other stuff going on between it being like July 4th weekend. People might be traveling, might be celebrating family, might be celebrating friends. I know that's Summer Games Done Quick. If you're watching that, I'm not gonna blame you because that's a great event. It's awesome. We came for Bob, but we'll settle for Craig. If you want to do that as a raid call too, I'm sure Craig would appreciate it. I did update a bunch of stuff on my YouTube. Oh, speaking of which, if anybody wants to see the YouTube, I'll be adding a bunch more stuff in the next week or so, and then and then I'm going to be streaming more this week. Just I don't know when and where, so if anybody isn't already in the Discord and wants to follow along, just hop in. All right, everybody, take care of yourselves. Remember to hydrate, remember to stretch, and most importantly, get good sleep because we know that's really hard to do that nowadays. So, all right, great seeing everybody. Have a good night and take care. We'll see you. Bye.